So guys, here you can see the two codes. On the right side, we made our sum code. That is the basic Verilog RTL code over here in the EDA Playground. And on the left side is our test bench code. That is in SystemVerilog. So on the right side, we just made a module called adder. We took two inputs, 4-bit each, A and B, and an output variable, sum, which is 5-bit 0 to 4, because 2 power 4 is 16 and maximum A can go is 15, B can go 15. If we add the maximum value, it will be 15 plus 15, 30. So our sum output variable must be able to hold maximum 30. So we took it 2 power 5, that will be 32. Now it can hold the maximum value. Now this is our design code. To test this code, we made this test bench. We initialize again three variables, A and B as reg and wire as a sum. And then we connected the ports. A to A variable is connected to A, B is connected to B, and then sum over here is connected to sum over here using this command here. Then we begin our test code. We use a monitor command. First of all, we are checking the time. Then we display A in decimal, then B in decimal, then sum in decimal. And now from here, the value is coming from time. A is coming from A, B is coming from B, and sum is coming from sum. Then we wrote our test case. First test case, we assigned A the decimal value of 3, B 5. Second test case, 12, 12. Third test case, 4, 7. Then we wrote the $finish for the monitor command, like it will keep on monitoring the variables till this command. After that, there is no variables to monitor. We ended the modules. Then here we have the result. For the first test case, A was 3, B was 5, we got 8. For second test case, A was 12, B for 12, we got 24. For third test case, we got A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 7. 11 is the result. Hello guys, welcome to learning microcontrollers. In this lecture, we will be learning Verilog coding. So Verilog is an HDL, higher descriptive language, which is basically used to describe the hardware what to do. So this is basically used in the FPGA chips, field programmable gate arrays, which are very fast. So we will be doing an example to learn this Verilog in this lecture. So what we will be doing is that we will be adding two numbers. Then either you can just transfer this code to your IDE, whichever you have, Vivado or Quartus or whichever FPGA chip you are using, and then burn that code into the FPGA chip to check it. Or the secondly, we have another easy option to simulate and test the results. We will be using the EDA Playground. So let's get started. Instead of wasting the time, we just learn by doing. So first of all, go to your browser. Open your browser, write down EDA Playground, press enter. This is the first link. You go there. Let me open the magnifier as well so I can zoom in wherever it is required. There you go. Now it will ask you to log in. First of all, remember that you have to sign up on the EDA Playground using your either the organization or the institute email. See, I am not using my Gmail email over here because I know if I sign up with the Google or with Yahoo or Outlook or with any other such commercial email addresses, then I will not get the full functionality. Remember, this software is completely free. They don't ask not even for a single penny from you. But you have to log in with an organization or an institute email to get the full functionality. So let's get started. I already signed up. Now I log in. There I go. Now, first of all, since we will be adding two numbers, so we need a code where we will have two variables. We name one as A, other as B. And the third variable, which will store the output, we call it the sum. Now see, you get two programming windows in the EDA Playground. The right one is your Verilog side. You will write the Verilog code here. Verilog code here. Okay. And on the left side, this is the test bench. We call it SystemVerilog Testbench code here. Now, see the beauty of this tool, EDA Playground. On the right, you write the Verilog, then you will connect this code to the test bench and you will test the code. Like this is for the designer and this is for the verification engineer. Simple. Now, let's do it. How these two work together. How we use the test bench with the design code. You will also learn this in this lecture. So, let's start writing the code to add two numbers. Okay, first of all, as you know, since we have two variables, we make a module called adder, or you can name it whatever you want. And the first variable, I take it as an input type, and then I give it a length, like I want 2 power 4 that will be 16. Maximum value this variable a can have is 16 now, because 0 to 3 means it is a 4-bit variable. You can make it higher as well, but for just demonstration purpose I'm just taking 4-bit variable. Now we also initialize the b, same again 4-bit variable, 3 to 0, it means 0 1 2 3 4. B is also 4-bit. Then we take the output variable which will store the data, and we take it to be like more than, like if a is to say 15, the maximum value, and b is also at the maximum value, that is 15, then the value we will get is 30. Now to overcome this issue, like if I take it 3 0, suppose I take it the same, like the sum is also the same size, then we cannot store 30 in a 4-bit variable. So this will be a problem. To overcome this, we make this 4-bit. Like now it's 2 power 5. 0 to 4, it is 2 power 5. That is 32 now. Now if there is a maximum value 15 plus 15, maximum is 30, we can store that in the sum variable. So that's why we go up 1 bit higher for the output variable. Now if you are using Arduino IDE or Micro C for PIC or some other programming tool, then what you will do over here, you will simply write sum is equal to a plus b. Simple. Now this is also true for the Verilog as well, but there is a problem. It will not work if I try to compile this. You have to define the assignment here. We know that it is an assignment, but you have to write a sign here as well. The beauty is that in the microcontroller coding, if you write in C++ like this, I have like 3 assignments, then this one will be executed first, then this one, and then the third one. But here they all are being executed in the parallel. That's why there is a huge speed difference between the FPGA chips and the microcontroller. Okay, now since we started a module, now we end the module and module. Now see, our design code is complete. Now to test this code, we have an option like I write a is equal to 10, b is equal to 5, and then I burn it into an FPGA chip or use some simulator, I will get the result. That is what we do in the microcontrollers. Or we make another test case, a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 6, something like this. Now that's how we do in the microcontroller, but this is not a good practice. Like this is the design code. We should not change the design code to test it. We have to test this code using the test bench. Now let's see how we do that, how we send the values of these variables, connect these values over here with the test bench variables, and then how we use the same assignment operator in the design side to run the test bench to test the code of the Verilog. So now we will write the SystemVerilog, which is a bit similar, not a big difference. So let's learn by doing. Okay, first of all, we define the time scale. That is our clock here. Time scale, and I take it to be 1 nanosecond divided by 1 picosecond, the most normal we use. Then we define a module for the test bench as well. TB adder, I name it. You can name whatever you prefer. I have named it test bench adder. Now we initialize the variables. I call the first variable reg. Again, since it's a 3 variables a, because a was 4-bit in the design code as well, so I have to take it 4-bit over here as well. Data type I'm using is the register, which is enough to deal with this type of variable. Okay, we also take the b as well, again 4-bit. And now for the sum, we take the wire variable, and it will be 4-bit because it is also 4-bit over there as well. Like for the output, it is better you use the wire. For the input, you use the reg. So that's the simple terminology. Now since we have the variables a, b and sum in the test bench, we also have the same variables in the design as well. How to connect them? Now I want is that when I enter a value over here, it comes over here. B, I enter over here, b comes over here. Sum also is connected to that side. Now to do this, you have to instantiate the variables. For that, you write adder, take any name you prefer, UUT. This is the name adder, it was over there. Module name adder, you have to write the same name over here. If you want to change this name, then you also have to change that name over there. Adder. Then we connect the ports. Like first of all, I write dot, the name I have over here, a, connected to a over there. Now if this was a different name and this was a different name, no problem at all. You can change the names over here. Like we are connecting the ports, so a to a. That's how it's connected. Now similarly, b to b, because we have same name, this made our life easy. Similarly, sum to sum, like this. Now close the brackets and inverted commas, like this. Now the ports are connected. Like whatever the value is a over here will be transferred to this using this command. Whatever the value of b is over here will be transferred to this port using this command. Similarly, we connected this port as well. Sum will be transferred to sum over here using this command. It's capital M. We have to make sure that the names are same. Okay, that's perfect. Now we start writing the code because we have connected, initialized the variables and connected the ports. Now we write the test code. I write initial begin. You have to be careful with the spellings. Okay, now to display the data, we have two commands. One is the $display command. It is exactly like using the serial print ln command in the Arduino or some similar on the other IDEs. It will just be, as soon as this command is executed, whatever the text or the variable data is here will be displayed on the terminal. While for applications like these where we are monitoring the variables, use the monitor command. What monitor command do is that it starts from here and then it will keep on monitoring the variables till the finish, F-I-N-I-S-H, finish. Okay, it will keep on monitoring the variables in between these two commands. As long as the finish arrives, it will keep on monitoring the variables, and as soon as the value of any variable changes, it will change the value on the terminal as well. So it keeps on monitoring the variables in between the finish and the monitor command. As soon as the variable changes, it will display the value, the new value on the screen at the same time. So it is a very powerful command. So we will go with this because we are monitoring the variables over here, A, B and sum. So what I do, I write the code, I start the inverted commas, I write text time is equal, first of all, I will display the time. I write it to be %0t, like I want to display this in seconds. Now the next thing is, I want to display value of A is equal to, in what format I want to display? I want to display it in the decimal format. So I write it %A is equal to %D. B, again, I want to display it in the decimal form, D, and the sum value is equals to %D. So all the values will be displayed in the decimal form. Now we close the inverted commas, we write the comma. Now from where this value will come? The value of the time will come from the system clock that we initialize at the top. Now from where the value of A will come? The value of A will come from this variable called A connected to design over here using this command over here. So we write A. Now the value of B, that is this one, will come from where? Value of B will come from B variable and value of sum will come from sum. Simple as that. Now we close the brackets and write the inverted commas. That's how we will monitor. Now write the finish first because sometimes we forget to write the finish and the monitor command do not work because it do not knows till how long it have to monitor the variables. Now inside it you have to write your test cases. Number one, test case 1. Now instead of writing here, like I was thinking about writing A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 6 to test the code, we will do this over there. Now that is the beauty of using the test bench. Like we are not touching the main code, we are just writing another code which will test this code. So that is the job of the verification engineers. So we write the value of A is equal to, now A is a 4-bit variable, then give the comma, which data type in decimal, and whatever the value you want to give, we give it 3. That is our first case for A, and then we write the value of B. B is equal to, again it's a 4-bit variable, then the data type we are using is decimal, 4 comma D, and I want to send it to be 4. Okay, 5, no problem. This is our first test case. Then we give some delay, not necessary, but we will have, because we are displaying the time, it will display the time on the screen. Okay, now the second test case, let's make the second test case to test our design code. The second case will be, we give, maximum we can go is 15. I make it 12. I make this 12. Okay. The third case, case 3. I make this 4. I make this 7. Okay, this is fine. We have 3 test cases. You can make as many as you want. Now this is our test bench to test the code, and this is our design code. Now see the beauty over here. We are not writing the assign command over here because we will just be assigning the value of A, B, and this command is monitoring the sum, and this sum is being monitored while we have connected this sum to that sum over there. So whatever the value of this sum is will be monitored by the monitor command because we have connected them together and will be displayed on the screen automatically over here as per this line. So that is simple. Now first of all, on the left side you have to select the simulator you are going to use to run your code. Tools and simulator, expand it. There you select it. Now, there will be a problem here. If you don't sign up with the institution or an organization email, you will not be able to go with these commercial simulators. While if you go with the Gmail, Yahoo, etc. type emails, then you can use these one as well. They are free. GHDL, Verilator is used a lot. Icarus can be used. You can use these simulators as you like. But to get access to these simulators, you just have to sign up with an institute or an organizational email. So I will go with the Cadence. Okay, there we go. I click on save. First of all, save your work. Once you click on save, it generates this unique ID. You can just, if you want to show your work to someone else, like to your teacher or someone, you just have to send this code. That's it. He will write rest of the same, and then he will write this code, and bam, your code will be there. You can also copy the link as well, and that's it. Okay, now we click on run. Click on run. Wait, go down, check the messages. Okay, the code is running. Okay, there is an error. We made a mistake somewhere. Okay, let's check. Okay, time scale. Okay, that's fine. There is an error over here with a $finish command. Okay, we forgot to end the code. Since remember that we started the code, initial began. I write end. Now we have to end the code. Similarly, we started the module over here. We have to end the module as well. I write end module. There you go. Now click on run. Okay, there you go. The code is working. Now this is the beauty of using the simulator. Instead of running this code directly, you can just run it on the simulator to check if there is any error. It will give you the error. You can correct the error. Then you can transfer it to your IDE. Now see over here, the first test case that we made. A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 5. A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 5. We got sum is equal to 8. That's perfect. The second test case, A is equal to 12 and B is equal to 12. So we got 24 over here. You can see that. Now the third test case, A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 7. So we got 11 over here. So guys, this is it. See, this is working like a charm. We just made a Verilog code to add two numbers. So, and it worked like a charm. So guys, I have tried to go in as much details as possible for you guys to learn. I didn't use a chat GPT over here or any other such tool over here. So you guys can learn better the basics. So if you guys have any questions, please do ask. We'll see you in the next lecture. Goodbye until then.